Hello guys, and welcome back to another Tall Tales. Today I'm going to talk about being confident in your work, and this has been a thing that has been plaguing me for quite a while, and I know that it plagues a lot of young artists. And it's that crave to be able to get your art out to be seen by people, and just to have it be liked, especially with social media like it is today. There is a lot more of a need for people to appreciate you and for people to appreciate your talents. And I've kind of fallen into that hole. It's hard when you come from a place that is so small and you enter a world that is so big. I grew up in a very small town. My graduating class was maybe a little over 100 people. There weren't a lot of people that had like a lot of really special talents, or otherwise they like stuck out like a sore thumb, like everyone knew them. And that was kind of my experience living there. Almost everyone in the town knew my name and knew what I was known for, which was not only art but also music, and knew my family because my dad is kind of a big community person. So because of that, I feel like I was even less prepared for what would happen when I went and decided to take my art to an online platform. I started my Instagram, I think about 4 years ago, and I've seen very, very little growth since the first year. The first year, I think I had about 80 followers, and today I have about 190. It teeters between 180 and 190. I don't know if I was shadow banned in Instagram. I don't know if I'm just not using the right tactics, if I'm just not using the right hashtags. The online platform is so massive and it's so based around making money that if you don't pour money into the system, you're not going to be seen by anybody. You're not going to go anywhere with it, really. It's going to stop you. And especially, I know that there's been a real big problem with Instagram and other social media platforms changing their algorithm so that it only really works for the people who pay. I've done several advertising campaigns across all different medias, and I've spent roughly $100 on each one. None of them have really gotten me anywhere. And I know that $100 is not really considered a lot, but when you are a poor person, that is like the most that you can really spare for an advertisement of something that you don't know if it's going to go anywhere. So when I look at that stuff and I look at how all these things are changing their algorithms, and it's no longer really possible to get anywhere in the social media unless you are already rich to the point where you can take care of all the payment for the advertising and payment for whatever else. You have to pay money to make money. It's really unfortunate because I feel like I grew up in a time when I was a teenager, all these people were becoming super popular and they didn't really spend money on the things that they did. They just posted and posted and posted and posted. And as long as they were good about that, and as long as they smiled, and as long as they had good content, those people would make it somewhere. And I don't feel like that's true anymore. I have randomly fell off the face of the earth on my YouTube channel several times because I was just depressed and I couldn't find my camera, and I didn't have any inspiration to do anything. And when the whole system is about you have to post regularly and you have to be doing this and you have to be doing that, it's very difficult for someone who just isn't able to do that. I also think, unfortunately, I myself suffer from this, where if I'm not making money doing something, I feel very discouraged to keep doing it. And that has been the case a lot lately for my artwork and for my comic book. I've gotten to this point where I'm almost done, but I have to pay money to get it published, and I have to pay for all the copies that I want, and I have to be sure that I can take those copies somewhere and sell them. Otherwise, I just wasted a bunch of money as someone who already is low on the bar. It's very difficult decision to make when you have to decide, okay, am I going to pay my bill, or am I going to invest in my things that I want to do and want to become? And will that get me anywhere? Because you see all these people and you're like, oh, they were famous and they made those sacrifices and they got through it and they were able to do it. But then you look at your own life and you go, I don't know that that's possible for me. So it's a really unfortunate thing. And I know I've been long-winded and a little rambly. It is very easy to feel very bad about your artwork or whatever you create. It is very easy to fall into that pit hole where you just think that you need more likes, or you need more people that follow you, or you need more this or more that, or you need to be making money doing what you're doing, or else it's not worth your time. And it's a really sad outlook on life, and you should not base your thoughts about yourself on those things, because that's super unfair to you, and that's super unfair to your passion. And obviously we're not always going to be the best, and we're not always going to think correctly about these things. We're not always going to make the best decisions, and that's okay. But what I wanted to say is that as long as you keep trying, that's all the world can ask from you. And as long as you're having fun doing what you're doing, creating what you're creating, then that has to be enough. You have to remember that it's supposed to be something you enjoy and not something that's stressing you out and something that's making you uncomfortable. So I've made this whole video basically because I recently went out of my way and decided to apply to be part of Raw Artists. It's a group that essentially do live art shows with fashion shows at the end, and the art shows aren't just like visual art, they're also photography and design and several other categories. You could be in just about anything that's creative and be a part of their show. I applied and I put my artist page up there, and I got selected to be a part of their Detroit show. I am not saying that by any means that you have to buy a ticket or that you have to support me or whatever, but just sharing this video or just clicking the link and sharing the link with other people if you like my artwork, or if you know of someone else who likes my artwork, or if you just want to support local artists, consider buying a ticket. Specifically, if you want to support me, you have to make sure that you get a ticket that has my artist name underneath it. Otherwise, the ticket does not count for me. I need to sell 20 tickets to be able to make sure that I can have my spot there. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This art piece was of Harkoth, who is the main demon that my comic is based off of. Harkoth is the father of the main character and her siblings. If you want to, please support me by buying a ticket. I love you guys. I'm so glad that you guys want to watch my videos. Maybe I'll see you in Detroit in May. Bye-bye.